Went to New York because his mother and his sister were there. Jocelyn, she wanted to be an actress. You know, his mother said, "Why don't you concentrate on being an actor?"
He was better at acting when he was in the military academy than anything else. That was the only time people complimented him, as if he did a play at school and he was good. He was an elevator boy, and I think he just wandered into the new school where he studied with my mother.
Stella Adler was considered a wonderful actress. She was a daughter of Jacob Adler, who was a great, great actor in the Yiddish theater. She went to Paris to work with Stanislavski, and method acting, you know, really comes out of the whole Stanislavski approach.
What is the method that they talk about?
Well, that's what 50 million actors would like to know, too. Yeah. That's an age-old argument, and would, you know, you could spend 12 hours in Walgreens drugstore arguing about that.
Well, it's just there is no such thing. That's the best way to explain it. It is, I guess you could say it's coming from the personal. It's how personal you are. Method acting is so varied. It's so, I don't even understand it.
Acting comes easily to everybody. All I've done is just simply through the extraordinary talent of Stella Adler, who was my teacher and mentor, learned how to be aware of the process and how to access my own feelings.
Stella was a force. When Stella liked you, she liked you. And if she didn't, she didn't. But she recognized in Marlon an innate theatricality that wasn't conventional. He was theatrical without being theatrical. It came out of an honesty, but because of its size and scope, it had style. And she was smart enough to see that. No wonder he gives her credit.
Stella said, "You work from the object." So Marlon was working from the outside in to get an inner reaction. Her idea was that that from the object, it affects your senses and your recall of memory, and it frees you to be free enough to improvise. So you live in the moment. Moment-to-moment reality is the idea of the achieving method situation.
You were watching someone feel. So what became infinitely more important was what was going on underneath the words when you watched Marlon Brando.
I came home from high school one day. This is in 1944. And there was Marlon in the apartment, this unbelievably beautiful thing, like the most beautiful cat. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. We went to the movies, and in the movie, he put his arm around me. The night I met him, I said, "I think I have a crush on that actor." Crush. And my mother said, "He's a great actor. He's the greatest actor since Papa." That was her father was a very great actor. And we started to see each other. We go to the movies and then come home and listen to music all night long. Endless music. We listened to Prokofiev and Shostakovich. He liked music that was enormously emotional. He became familiar with a certain kind of family life in a Jewish home. And also, we had all these really great New York intellectuals and artists, and they all liked Marlon a lot. So for a time, he had this moment of really just living the life of an actor.
I'd just gotten out of the Army, and my wife said, "Say, there's something in the paper about a new play that Harold Clurman and Kazan are doing. Why don't you go down there, Kevin, and see about if there's something there for you?" I got myself down to 40th and Broadway, and I got the most terrific welcome. Maxwell Anderson was there. It was his play, Truckline Cafe. And I read this marvelous part. Oh, golly. And I thought, that's just right. How did they know I was coming? And they said, "Oh, no, Kevin. No, that part's taken." That part's taken? Who else in town is going to play it any better than I will? The actor's name is Marlon Brando. I said, well, could I understudy that part? And one of these days, it's going to happen. This guy, whoever he is not going to be able to cut the mustard, and I'll walk out there and do it, and you'll be damn glad I'm here.
I guess the first time I really met him was at the table read.
And I couldn't understand a word he was saying. Not a single word.
He was not doing anything at all at rehearsal.
He was talking into his coat. He was upstaging himself.
He was sort of walk through, traipse through.
He was talking inside of his sweater. He was had his hands covered over his face, you know. And quite honestly, most of us in the show were thinking, he's never going to end up in the show. They're going to fire him. And we felt that Harold Clurman was being so patient with this actor because Harold's wife was Stella Adler, Marlon's teacher.
And I think, and show them how this part should be played.
One day, Harold dismissed everybody for lunch. And I was sitting in the wings, and everyone left, and Harold said, Marlon, don't go yet, come here. And he said, sit down. And there was an ice cream table downstage center. And he said, start the scene. So Marlon started the scene, and within a second started to get up. And Harold said, no, stay. Go on, go on, go on. So he goes on, and a second later he's getting up, and he said, no, stay. Go on, go on, come on, come on. And he starts to do this scene, and there is so much rage in him that he starts to pound on the table, beat up the table practically, and I remember that he wrapped his leg around the base of this iron table. It was like seeing a caged, wild animal, but he wouldn't let him move. Then the scene builds, and he's talking about the murder. And he shot his wife 10 times. And I remember sitting there with, just chills. And I felt like there was a volcano that I could see just starting to erupt, and then it just exploded. And when he finished, Harold said, that's it, Marlon, don't lose it. Now, go to lunch.
We were all sort of standing around. All of a sudden, I heard this voice. I killed her. I killed her! I killed her! You didn't know what to think. I still can't. I still feel it.
When it was over, I never heard so much cheering and shouting and clamping and stomping of their feet and standing up. The play couldn't start for about a minute and a half. And that's a long time, but nothing happening. And he stopped the play.
I saw Truckline Cafe. He came on and did a scene of about 4 minutes and absolutely stunned the audience. And we were left empty, and wounded by this actor.
That man, that young man, he was about 21, went out there and just destructive. Destroyed my ideas of what it's all about. So there was no further thought about that I was ever going to play that part.
He became a triumph. From then on, everybody wanted him to act, everybody. What was magical about him is young actors are eager to get the job. He reversed the process. He'd say, I'm not interested. No, and that made them all go nuts to get him.